What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about Microsoft CEO pay raises 63% to $79 million despite a devastating year for layoffs. Okay, we're going to talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 6 could boost Game Pass by up to 4 million subs. We're also going to talk about Xbox has 20 video game franchises that have earned $1 billion. We're going to talk about the U.S. Copyright Office refuses to allow remote access to out-of-print games. And we're also going to talk about streamers critical of Bioware's Dragon Age Veilguard not giving review codes. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to about noon Eastern. Just have conversations, talk about gaming news, entertainment news, random stuff throughout the morning. We're just trying to get you through a couple hours of your day. I do appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us in the mornings. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Appreciate it very much. What's going on, Roadkill? What's going on, Travis? Roic? Jason? Eclipse? Good morning. Robert Jones? Quest? Good morning. Morecat? Good morning. Kraken? Good morning. Travis, I like how you talk like you're like 60 years old. You're 12 years younger than me, and you're like, I'm old and grumpy. You're grumpy. I don't know if you're old. I don't know if you're old. All right. You guys have a good weekend? I didn't really do anything this weekend. I'm trying to think. That's not true. That's not true. We went to go pick out some pumpkins at a pumpkin patch. We got some good pumpkins. We got went to dinner with family. Family just came back into town, so we went out to dinner with them. We were going to watch some shows this weekend, but instead, my son decided that he didn't want to watch a show, so I played a lot of video games. So much so that I made a series of the TCG card shop simulator. If you guys want to watch some of that gameplay, I have that on my other channel, 30 and Still Gaming. We just have uploads of me just playing through that game. I'm gonna do that more often. Games that I'm not playing on stream live on Monday nights, Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, or with Sarge or whatever. We're gonna put that stuff over on the other channel, and then anything that we do live on the live stream will stay on this channel, 30NSG. Good morning, Wonder Rose. You have a body of a 60-year-old, 6 foot. After 6 foot surgeries, I'm old as shit. Well, you might feel like you gotta get up and do something. Otherwise, you're gonna shrivel up like a raisin. You'll be real old before you actually get there. Bracket says I also went to a pumpkin patch. There's a whole fair there. Also a corn maze. We're going to a corn maze November. I think it's like the first week of November. We have a great corn maze that they do every single year over here. Really fun for the kids. They got like a zip line. They got like this huge slide you go down with a potato sack. Got a couple of mazes. They got like 5 mazes, one giant maze. And my family's always amazed because when they get lost, they're like, which way are we going? I have really good sense of direction. So when we're in the maze, I know exactly where I'm going. Right? So really what I do is I look at the map before we go in, and I have a good memory like that. I can see where we are, and I can picture myself like if I have a bird's eye view of like where I am in the maze and like what it looks like and where to get out. So it's funny. So I stay in the back and I let my family just start running through the maze. And then they're like, come on this way. I'm like, no, you gotta make a left. Make a left. Charging through the maze. Well, here's when you have to go to a maze. If you've never been to a corn maze, you got to go early on in the season when it first opens, because usually the corn stalks are a lot higher. As weeks pass, they dry out, whatever, and they start. So it becomes really, you can like see everything. It's much more cooler if you're in there where the corn stalks are like super high. Good times. So we're going and we go there every year. We've been going every year since my son's been like 2 or 3. We've been going 6 years, 7 years. I'm addicted to that TCG card simulator. We're doing a playthrough, like I said, on our other channel, 30 and Still Gaming, where I'm trying to make a bougie shop where I'm only selling individual cards. We're not selling anything else. We have tables and individual cards. You can follow that playthrough over on 30 and Still Gaming as well. All right. Let me put a poll up. See which story you guys would like to talk about first. Let's see. We got US copyright. No review codes. Microsoft CEO and all right. Sorry, Jones, we're putting a poll up. I know how you feel about polls. Blocking your view with the 3 dots. Let me know what you guys want. We got the story of the no review codes. We got the US copyright, Microsoft CEO, COD Game Pass boost. We'll let that go for a bit. Roadkill asks in the very beginning, yo, brother, how you like Black Ops campaign? I thought it was great. I haven't played the complete campaign yet. We've only played 3 hours, 3 missions, I think. I haven't played a campaign in 14 years in Call of Duty, right? The last Call of Duty campaign I played was Modern Warfare 2 back in like 2009. I'm actually quite enjoying it. I thought it was weird, and again, I haven't played a Call of Duty game, so I was a little confused by the RPG elements of this one, and I don't know if this is the first one they've done that with in all these years. So it was a surprise that it was like that. The missions themselves, because of the openness of the way they've done the game, I thought the pacing was a little off, but then again, obviously that's on your own, right? If you want to like move up faster, you can do things. So far, I'm liking the campaign. I thought it was actually pretty good. What was weird to me, though, is it's too clean. And what I mean by this is the visuals, right? The visuals in the game, they look outstanding. It looks beautiful. But it looks so clean, it almost reminds me of a television show. It reminds me like I'm watching a episode of like West Wing or like NCIS or something. I was just like, something feels off. The way that the acting and stuff is, it just feels like an interactive television show. And it looks like a television show. So I'm liking it. The gunplay feels a little odd to me in the very beginning. I adjusted my settings because when I was like zoomed in to, aim down the sights and I was trying to like move over to the right to like headshot people and whatnot, it wouldn't move. The dead zone was a little too much. So I had to adjust that. After that, I thought it was pretty good. Obviously I'm super rusty because I haven't played a Call of Duty game and, religiously for quite a couple of years. I have played a Call of Duty. We played Warzone a couple of years ago. But for the most part, haven't jumped in. So I'm enjoying it. We're going to go probably play the campaign again tonight on stream. Or I might play a different game. We might play another simulator type game tonight that I got a code for. So we'll see what happens. And if I don't play it tonight, then maybe I'll throw it up on the other channel as well. Travis says, honestly, I don't think YouTubers should get codes. Well, it's funny that everyone's starting to feel that way, and I've said for the longest time, I think everyone that if you're a reviewer, you should pay. There should be here's what you should do. Okay. I think if they want to pre-order, like the pre-order state or whatever it is, like it's 2 weeks before, that the company you sign up, and if you're interested into review copy that game, then they sell it to you weeks early. Okay, you got to sign up, You got to be a reviewer, and they sell you the game. So that way, if you want to buy the game and review that game, then you should be able to do it. Okay? That's the way I feel. I don't think you should be able to get codes or anything. Okay? Right? They just give the reviewers codes early, but they have to pay for them. Okay? So if IGN wants to pay, they got to buy the game. Okay? They're making money off it. Company says, start is boring, bad pacing issues, but it does pick up. See, I'm at 3. I did think that the opening mission I thought was pretty simplistic. The first mission I thought was cool when you're in the church and you try to go up to the top of the church, and it's like slowly build up. Like you can go in guns blazing, or you can sneak like I did, right? So I thought that was fine. The second mission, which was it the second mission? Yeah, it was the second mission or third mission after the tutorial or whatever, is when you're in the fundraiser or whatever it is. I thought that was really slow. Obviously, when you go down below, it picks up, dramatically. But the pacing could be just a little bit better. You're absolutely right, Krebsy. But again, I'm coming from fresh eyes, right? I haven't played every single Call of Duty. The last campaign I played, like I said, was like 14 years ago. Come on, Lucas. All right, so far, no review codes. Seems like the winner there. So we're going to bring that up. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. We just cover stories. I read the article for the first time on chat with you guys. I'll give you my thoughts and opinions, and we have a conversation about it. If there is no conversation about it, we move on to the next one. If you are a member of the channel, I'm more likely to pick your chats out of chat because memberships get you a little bit more advantage over that. That's just the way it is. That's what we've been doing for about 2 weeks now. Not to say that I'm not going to read the people that are non-members. Obviously, I've done that already. But if you are a member, I will read yours. I'll prioritize your comments more than anybody else's. Okay. So at that Park Place, okay, reviews that streamers critical of BioWare's Dragon Age the Veilguard not given review codes. This is a tale of from years past. Every time people give codes and they say something bad. This is not just on Dragon Age. This is just in general for games, as we're talking about review codes and whatnot. This is always the balance of being a reviewer of games or talking bad or talking good about a game. Some people don't want to give their honest opinion because as a YouTuber, you want to try to raise your channel up. You're trying to be getting noticed. You're trying to get studios to notice you, give you things because they're trying to make a career out of this, right? So they don't want to say something too bad because if they say something too bad, then they might not get a code down the road. Now, based off of this article, just the title, I'm assuming that's what's happening right now, right? A lot of people are probably said something maybe down the road, and now they're not getting review codes because they had some sort of criticism, right? And the companies are 100% allowed to do this. This is just like what I just said just a couple of minutes ago when Travis said, I don't think YouTubers should get codes. They should pay for them, right? And that's what I believe, right? If you are a content creator or you're a person that wants to review, they reach out to you and say, hey, would you like to review the code? So at this point, if you say something good or bad, it doesn't matter. You paid for the game ahead of time. Now, obviously, the company can still do the exact same thing, and they still don't have to sell to you. Right? They still don't have to sell to you because they know, oh, okay, well, this person said something bad about us. We don't want to sell him. And they can deny you a copy or not, okay, as an early access. Now, obviously, once the game comes out in regular stores, they don't know who you are. You just go to the store, pick it up, and then start reviewing it, okay? So this has always been something that's always been a struggle. But let's continue. So this article comes from, like I said, that Park Place from John F. Trent. It says, YouTubers... Wolfheart FPS reports that at least 3 streamers and YouTubers that were critical of Dragon Age Veilguard during an initial playtest have not been given review codes for the full game. Okay? Now, Wolfheart FPS reported on X, 3 creators, myself included, were a bit more critical than others on the hands-on time with Dragon Age Veilguard. Not a single one of us will be getting a review code with the time as actually giving opinions before release. Just thought I would throw that out there. Now, could this be that maybe they only have a certain amount of people they want to, right? Maybe they have people they're working with and they're giving advantages of, Who knows? I can't tell you if that's the case or not. Now, obviously, this does sound a little fishy because they had a little bit of a criteria that they were like, a criticism, I should say. They're like, this game, maybe they said it's not flushed out. I don't like the storytelling. Oh, maybe it's got DEI in it. Maybe they said stuff like this. I don't know what they said. But then BioWare's like, we're not going to do this. We've seen this. People that they bring in, Rings of Power comes to mind for Amazon, right? They brought in a lot of people to hype up the game, or hype up the show, I should say. And then when the show came out, those people didn't even watch the show. They were watching other shows because the show was just bad, okay? Could this be what's going on here? Who knows? Okay, but let's continue reading here, okay? It says, subsequent post, he added, please keep in mind that, folks, that this does not mean that my more critical opinion is better or more truthful than those who also been more positive. I'm also simply posting out how marketing works. It also doesn't mean that the game will be bad, but it's something to be considered. Now, he's 100% correct there, where it doesn't mean the game is bad, but it does give me kind of interest of going, why wouldn't you give the people that gave criticism, okay? Like, can you imagine if, just anything, right? Right? You're vacuuming your house, and your wife, son, daughter's like, hey, Dad, you're doing it wrong. You'd be like, well, just do it yourself, and then throw the vacuum at them, right? Like, what are we talking about? People are allowed to criticize. That's your right. That's my right. That's their right. It's also the company's right to not give you a code if they don't want to give you a code. This is just how it works, okay? They get to pick and choose who they want to give early access to, but everybody is allowed to play the game, purchase the game, and then give your thoughts and criticism to that game after the fact, okay? But because this day and age of where video games are, it does seem a little off-putting that you're not giving certain people codes, because that kind of raises red flags a little bit, okay? He also pushed back in a response of YouTuber Kala Elizabeth, noting that individuals who gave positive reviews did not get review copies as well. She wrote, there were also people who were very positive and were also in the event who didn't get the review copies also. I definitely think you guys should have been given codes, but I just want to be pointed out that it was also people who, being more critical, weren't just given codes, right? So there you go. See? So just like I said earlier, they can give codes to whoever they want. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, but here you go. So people that were very positive also didn't get codes. So now they pick and choose. I would assume that the business is choosing on the more prominent or popular, I guess, content creators out there that could show off what the game is, because they want to get to the masses as big as possible, right? So I don't know how big these content creators are. I guess I could go look them up and see, but I don't know if they're hundreds of thousands or if they have millions of subscribers or followers on their respective platforms. But there you go. So Wolfheart FPS responded, I understand that. I did my research on before posting. The point is more of that everyone I know who is critical did not get a code, with two of us being heavily involved in the party-based RPG scene. It's just not a good look. It's, however, a good look on the investor side of the equation, though. Okay? It continues here. It says, in the video title, mixed impressions after playing Dragon Age Veilguard early. Wolfheart FPS concluded at the end, overall, initial impression-wise, the game is pulling me in so many different directions, and it leaves me to be very conflicted. But as a fan of the franchise as a whole, as someone who also already gone through the mourning period of the DA franchise, Dragon Age franchise, would also head more towards the CG direction, okay? Towards a deep, complex RPG direction. I guess I would say I do find myself still excited to jump back in on release. Now, quote, with that said, I can't confidently say that you also through my audience that, yeah, this is a definite buy. My guess is that this game will unfortunately continue to quite divisive, but also be, but I could also be wrong, he added. Okay. He also shared for myself a potential story of the world building is powerful force enough force to DA franchise, and also playing it no matter what. There's also certainly some cool things out there that can also talk about in the video. But I don't really see any world where this could be like my game of the year or anything like that. A few of the negatives also mentioned in the video, they also just feel a little too impactful for what it personally values in games specifically of RPGs. Okay, so what do you guys make of it? Do you think because, again, just based on this article, not because of the past of other things, do you think because Veilguard is not giving review codes to certain content creators that there's something wrong with, BioWare's next Dragon Age game? I see there's a lot of divisiveness because of this, because of just what we've seen. Now, obviously, they've changed the art style from one game to the next, to the next, to the next. Those of you that are Dragon Age fans are probably just going to buy the game, play the game, and enjoy the game. Those of you that are not super fans, but you're looking for a game to play, you might get caught up in the whirlwind if this is woke, DEI, bad game, good game type of stuff. And then the rest of us are just going to sit back, and I say myself because I'm not buying the game. Not because I think it's bad or DEI or woke or whatever. It just doesn't make me excited. Okay? If this comes down the road and it gets on for a cheaper price, I'll pick it up down the road. If it comes to Gamepass, obviously I'll give it a shot because it's on Gamepass. I already pay for Ultimate. But as of right now, I look at this and go, just nothing it does excites me. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game. It just means I'm not interested in this game for no other reason than what I see visually. Okay? But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you think about Dragon Age Veilguard? Do you think that this is right? Do you think this is wrong? Do you think this is just standard practice? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live stream. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. If you like what I do here, please make sure you share, like, subscribe. And if you want to become a member, a little as $5. Thanks for watching. All right. Come on, Ron Slusher. Jason says, shill's gonna shill. Shill's gonna shill. Roic says, reviewers should have to pay for it. If you have something invested in it, you're more than prone to give it an honest review. I agree 100%, Roic. Anything, look, how do I... It's easy to get started. If you're a product reviewer, okay, just to get started out in the industry, if you want to... I want to review these earbuds, okay? Obviously, if I'm a small content creator, I can try to reach out to Apple and say, hey, can I have a set of these so I can review them? Okay. And they might give you one and say, send it back to us when you're done. Okay. But for the most part, probably not going to happen. So what you would have to do is go purchase it yourself, try them out, test them out, and then give an actual review of it. And then maybe you could return them and whatnot. And that's how most people get there in product reviews. There should be no difference. There should be no difference in the video game space where if you're starting out and you want to do reviews, go out and buy a game. Go out and buy a game. If you don't want to buy a $70 AAA game, then go buy an older game. Start grinding a little bit, okay? But 100%, if a place like IGN or Kotaku or whatever, they should have licenses that they distribute and go, all right, well, who wants to review a copy of the game? They ask the people in their studio. If one person, 3 people, 5 people, and then they have to go purchase that. Now, that's money out of their pocket. Well, good. You're going to be making that money back because of ad revenue that you put on for advertisements on your website when you get clicks and whatnot. That's how it should work, right? That's how it should work. None of this, well, they didn't give me a code, and, like you feel entitled because you get a code, okay? Like, even when I get a code, okay, this is why give me demo. Give me a demo. I'll play a game online, okay, on stream, I should say, for a couple hours, and then give you my thoughts. Yeah, this looks like a pretty good game, like we've been doing for the last couple weeks with the demos and stuff like that, right? Like, no one's giving me that. They're giving me a demo. I get to play the demo. I'm playing it on stream, and if you think it looks interesting, then go out and purchase it. You know what I mean? That's the way it should work. Kraken says no one is owed a code, but also odd that codes are given and some are not. Yeah, red flags are flying no matter what, Kraken, right? I don't care if people are giving good or bad. When you're not giving out people to bad, it's like a red flag. But you're also not giving out to good, which means that maybe there's a limited amount of people they're giving it to, and they're trying to focus on, right now, just early access. Let's say 14 days out, they're giving codes to people that are at a higher scale or more favorable for them. Then let's say 5 days out, they give it to other people to give them the code, but not enough time to give them a full review type of thing. Roic says one that didn't get a code is Fair Extra Life, or F Extra Life, has made a video about it, and I saw. if I don't remember, if I recall, wasn't his site getting bombarded with last year? Was it last year into last year, like embedding or faking the views or something like that? I think that's the guy, or the channel, I should say, not the guy. Dolphin says, seriously, though of these reviewers and creators act entitled, we all have to wait for the game too. Yeah, but there's a difference, Dolphin. I don't think it's entitlement. I do think he's pointing out, though, that because he had criticism that he didn't get a code, even though someone else also said that they didn't get a code and they were very positive about it. But then it goes a whole bunch of other stuff, right? How big's their channels, right? I don't know how big these guys' channels are, okay? Is the channel that they're on, even though, let's say they're an RPG channel, are they big enough? Does it fit right? Like, if I'm a company, I'm looking for if I'm looking for a person to promote my stuff, I only have a certain amount of budget to send out to people, okay? You got to pick and choose which one, right? This is why you get Tiger Woods to do Nike or someone else. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking to get certain individuals to promote your stuff. And if they want to do that, cool. You know, if a company wants to do that and want to pay like Dr. Lupo or Shroud to market their game, cool. Let's just say it. We know that they're sponsored by them, okay? But other people that are just getting codes and, here's a code, but, you got to say something nice about it. That's stupid. Perhaps he says everything around this game, from visuals to gameplay to now the code stuff, it keeps giving off this will fail vibes. Perhaps. What I think the vibe it feels, though, Krebsy, I feel like it's negative from the customer's point of view, but I think it's going to get praise on the video game side, right? Like, I see lots of rewards coming the way of Dragon Age. Right? Jason says, Krebsy, I predict this will fail as much as Suicide Squad. I feel like, though, that when you say it's going to fail, I think publicly it's going to fail, but I think it's going to get praised. Like I said, I think it's going to get praised by the industry side. Sarge says, you mean actually review the product? Yes. Yeah, just that's how reviews work. Travis says, 30. Speaking of demos, you're going to play Monster Hunter Wilds beta. Wait, can you play today, or is it till the 31st? I think it's the 31st for me. I think it's the 31st. And unfortunately, this week I probably won't play it because today's the 28th, tomorrow's the 29th, 30th. Maybe. I got to go out of town. I had one of my best friends, their parents passed away, or one of their parents passed away. So I'm leaving tomorrow night. So after the stream tomorrow morning, there will be no stream on Tuesday night. And then I'm going to try to come back Wednesday. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm leaving Tuesday night. It's Wednesday morning is the service, and then I might be back Wednesday night, so we'll be back Thursday morning. Robert Jones says, general trend, if this is given no one code... Let me read. Okay, general trend is if they give no one code, something is wrong with the game. Yeah, there's something. If they're not giving it out and they're only giving it to certain people, then that would be it's a red flag. From just the consumer point of view, we're like, that seems odd. Why are they doing that? Other games have done it in the past. Starfield didn't give any codes. You know what I mean? If you're going to give shit to them, then you have to give shit to everybody. You know what I mean? Just keep the energy level. Robic says, this is why I like Angry Joe. He doesn't care and to say it's bad if it's bad. Right. And this is why his reviews come out much later than everybody else's, because sometimes they don't give him. EA is not giving him Madden football. Do you know what I mean? He has to wait for Madden to come out and then play it a couple of days or weeks, and then he gives the review about it. Travis says, most of the people who are complaining are these people who who can't just, toggle a simple button, because how else will they make the content? Travis says, this could be the third flop in a row for Bioware with this. You think they also would give everyone a code if the game was good. Well, it's funny you say flop, right? Commercial flop was Anthem, but Anthem made 12 million copies. Remember that, right? I'm pretty sure Anthem sold 12 million copies. Hold on. If I'm not mistaken. Oh no, I'm sorry. 5 million copies. 5 million copies. Okay, Anthem sold 5 million copies, which sounds good until you compare it to Star Wars Battlefront. Battlefront sold 12 million copies. Yeah, right. 5 million copies. That's pretty good, but we just don't know the budget, right? We don't know the budget and stuff like that, right? I'm sure they sold more copies than that after the fact, but 5 million copies right when it came out. But you're absolutely right. It is a flop, right? And then Andromeda, I think, sold 2 to 3 million copies as well. Eclipse says, most of the videos I saw trashing it, Travis, were legit. The gameplay looks clanky. Even with the one showed the boss fight with the dragon, and they died so many times to miss the dodges. Go on, Altern. Altern says, I mean, the first red flag is giving a code to the Forbes guy that's against that is against people for not liking modern audience. I like Skill Up because he usually pays for his way to get to certain places and stuff like that. Like Force Gaming, even when he's given a code, he still tells you how it is. ACG does good jobs. And these are the people that I watch or listen to. Obviously, find the people that you like and listen to. I don't give reviews, okay? I give overall thoughts. Like, if I play a game that I like, or that I'm interested in, I should say, I'll play it on stream. You guys can come in and watch me play live, ask questions. I'll be very honest with you, literally up to the point of, I'll tell you, I can't tell you certain things because I haven't played enough. If I played 19 hours, I played 100 hours, I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on a game. I don't care if I get codes. I don't even try to get codes, I'll be honest with you. Okay, and then the little places that I do get codes, right? I play that game on stream. I just say I got a code from them, right? We got a code for, what was the last game we got a code for? I'm trying to think of a last game that we played on stream that we got a code for. It wasn't Starship Troopers. I paid for that. I can't even remember the one. But anyway, when I do get a code, I tell you, hey, I got a code. And I just tell you my thoughts, right? Beholden to anybody. I'll tell you if I like it. I'll tell you if it sucks. If it should wait. Shouldn't buy on day one. Give it a shot. It looks like they're giving codes out, Jones, just not to the people that we saw, the people that spoke up. Okay? It looks like they're giving out codes. Now we'll find out who those people are once the embargo lifts. They're giving codes out, but limited only to big people. Right. Now, obviously, like Paul Tassi or someone like that will probably get one. And you have to look at it as marketing dollars, right? If you own a business, I don't know what business it is. Let's say a comic book shop. A comic book shop, okay? I want to market my comic book shop, okay? Do I reach out to just every big streamer possible? Or do I reach out to people that are comic book fans and reach out who those videos are? I look at their videos and say, well, there's 100 people that like comic books on YouTube that have channels. Some are small, some are big, but I'm going to look at the overall and see which ones work better than others and then pick and choose. And they're allowed to do this. Right? They're allowed to do this. This will always be a thing, no matter what happens, because someone will play the game, someone will be critical, they don't get a code, and they're like, oh, I didn't get a code because I'm critical. But then there's other people that were positive, and they also didn't get a code. And that goes into, is their channel big enough? Right? Let me look at these channels real fast, because we didn't do any kind of let me see. Let me see. We have that one, and we have... Let's see. We don't have that channel. All right, let's go to this person's channel. Okay. So, as far as followers on Twitter, okay, 6,457. Now, I'm going to go to their channel on YouTube. And they have 224,000 subscribers. Okay. Their average per video. Okay, their average per video. You got 10,000, 15,000, 34,000 after 2 weeks. About a month later, they got about 40K, 65K for like 1 month videos. 114. Big for Baldur's Gate. Lots of Baldur's Gate stuff. Dragon Age gets around 30,000. Okay. So that's a big channel. That's a big channel, and their channel covers RPGs, right? They cover RPGs. So 30,000, 40,000 views and whatnot. So it is a little weird. It is a little weird that you look at a channel like this and say, yeah, they have pretty good views. They get good viewership, and they're an RPG guy. So it is a little strange that they're not getting stuff. Let me see the other channel that said that they also... I think this one said it. Research. Okay, I think this one. Is this the same girl? Let me make sure. No, it's not. Let's see. I'm trying to find the other girl from... Oh, you know what we could do? Hold on 1 second. Let me... Let's look it up. Okay, she's got 24,000 followers on Twitter. Her YouTube channel has 26,000. So, okay. So here's a perfect example now, right? Here's a perfect example. From her words herself, she said that she was very positive. Okay, she was very positive, and she didn't get a code. Okay, now her videos, and I'm not bringing their stuff on stream. I'm just looking at them. Okay, she's got 26,000 subscribers, and her videos are averaging 13,000, 21,000, 59,000. She's talking about Dragon Age, Veilguard. Like, every single video. Like, she's making the exact same amount of views as the 200,000 account, and her channel's only 24,000. Okay? 26,000. I say only, as I'm only 2,400. Okay? But her viewership is 33,000, 40,000, 36,000, right? So she's making a lot of content about this, and she's very positive about it. Why wouldn't they give her a code? She's making the exact same amount of viewership on her videos as the 200,000 channel is making on his videos. I think it has to do with they're not seeing enough. Even though you see 30,000 views on a video, they might not be hitting that mark of where they're looking at. Sure, you have a 224,000 subscriber channel. You have a 24,000 or 26,000 subscriber channel. But their numbers are about the same at 30,000. Maybe they're looking at people that are hitting 100,000, 50,000, 80,000, whatever it is. Altered said, so sad reviewers are now marketing tool instead of doing their job. Right. Roic says, I'm pretty sure that Luke Stevens didn't get one either. Well, Luke Stevens is not really known for like a specific genre. You know what I mean? He's all over the place. He's a variety type of guy. So that would make sense, him not getting one. They would bring him in to play test it, talk about it a little bit, but not getting a code. Probably not worth it. Seems like just review outlets doesn't go to Paul. It goes to Forbes. Actually, it would probably go to Paul. I guarantee you it didn't go to Forbes, and then Forbes handed it to Paul. I could be mistaken. And if this happens to get back to Paul in some way, shape, or form, Paul, let me know. I'm pretty sure that Paul just reaches out and says, hey, can I have a code, just like anybody else would. Now, like, kind of funny reaches out. They've said this openly. Kind of funny reaches out and says, hey, we need some codes. They ask for certain codes. They'll ask for like 5. They get 2. And then they pick which people want to play it to give their review. Right? We had people. Destin had to pay for his own copy. Destin had to pay for his own copy for something. I forget what it was. Was it Suicide Squad? He had to pay for his own copy because they didn't give codes. And then IGN's like, well, we'll pay you back for it. Of course, it's a business write-off. They should pay him back for it, right? But they should pay for their copies. Sarge says, this is an easy fix. No fucking codes. Your job is to review. Then you buy the game if it costs a business. Yeah, that's just exactly it. Altern says it does not go to Paul specifically, but if Forbes gives the code to Paul, then it goes to him. But yeah, I know what you mean. No, I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you Paul reaches out himself and gets the code. I'm pretty sure that Paul just goes, hey, I would like to review your game. And they're like, okay. And then Paul goes back to, if he has to buy the copy, says, hey, Forbes, I bought this game. Can you give it to me if they don't get codes? And he has to purchase it. Brainchild says the reviewers don't spend money on games. It's a write-off for them. Sure. But they're not even paying for those games, though, before the hand. They're just asking for codes. If you have to go out and buy it, sure, it's a business write-off. Yeah. But that's what they should do, Brain, right? 100%. If I go to the movies, if I'm a movie reviewer, okay, I just go to the movies, and that's a tax write-off because I'm a movie reviewer, okay? My business says, like right now, if I buy a game, all my games, because I'm a YouTube content creator, I talk about games, I play games, that's a tax write-off for me. It's a tax write-off. Right? Jokingly, because my wife's an accountant, okay, jokingly, okay, we'll sit somewhere and I'll be, hey, can we put this in the business? Right? Like when I'm sitting down with people, and she's like, no, we can't, because you didn't talk business. I said, everyone sit back down. I said, so what game do you think I should play? Do you think I should play this? Do you think I should play this on my stream? And she just looks at me like, I'm like, we talked business. Can we write this business now off as a tax write-off? Right? Obviously, she won't let me get away with that. But you could. You could. It's got to be a certain percentage. So jokingly, every time I go out to dinner, I said, this could be a business expense. Robert Jones says, yeah, I think the practice, it goes directly to Paul, as he is the main guy doing reviews. But if it wasn't with Forbes, he might not have gotten this. No, I think Paul at this point is so big and so prevalent inside the video game market that 100%, if he asked for a code, they would give it to him. Like if he left Forbes, his YouTube channel is 100,000 people. I think he's close to 100,000 subscribers now. Okay. Forbes is getting more publicity off of Paul than Paul is from Forbes. Let's put it that way. More people know Paul than Forbes in that circle. Like him, love him, hate him. He's done very well for himself to make sure that he's the guy talking about certain games or just gaming in general. Right, they want it for free. They want the validation of getting free stuff. Right. Sarge says, I want the content creator to come up the show and defend codes for reviewers. I'll be waiting. Oh, it's a close one. Look at that. The Game Pass codes surpassed everything else, so that's what we'll go. And this is why we keep up the review. This is why we keep up the poll, because it moved. Because in the order before, okay, Call of Duty was last, and now Call of Duty is second, which actually is first. But we already did the story for review codes, so now it's the next one up. Okay. The next story we'll talk about is the Call of Duty one. I watched the video this weekend. Off topic, real fast, right? About a guy talking about he's a guitar from Singapore, right? And he was talking about how YouTube, the way they're changing the monetization on the platform, a lot of people are going to leave because of this, right? And the way he was talking about it was the way YouTube used to be was you could make videos and get it out there, and then you were making money because you were getting pushed out. Morning, Haley. You were getting pushed out in the YouTube algorithm, right? But over the years, they've changed their monetization practices, right? Where now ads are a huge, huge thing. So much so that they make the problem sell you the solution. So they put a lot of ads on YouTube, and then if you don't want to see ads, then you pay for YouTube Premium. Well, now they're raising the price dramatically up for YouTube Premium. So much so that I don't know if it's worth it. I think it's going up to like $30 at some places, okay? So what's happening now is I'm an employee of YouTube or Google, but I'm not an employee of YouTube or Google because I'm a freelance person. So they're using me to bring people to their site so they can make ad revenue just like everybody else, okay? And the only way that I can get ahead of other people, and this is the way he was explaining it, that YouTube is that they want us to pay, talking about codes, and this is why I'm bringing it up, right? If I'm a YouTuber and I want my videos to get pushed out more, they want me to pay for advertisement, which sounds normal, right? Because if I was a florist or a baker and I want my bakery to be known more in that area, then I would have to call up a person, make ads, and run TV ads, run publication ads, or whatnot. That is what YouTube is doing to the YouTube content creators now, where they're purposely not pushing people's videos forward because they want you to use the thing to push. So what happens here, the people like myself that are lower tier, they're doing this this new program that's coming out supposedly sometime next year where you can hype a channel, right? So you guys can hype this channel, but that money doesn't come to me. Okay, that money goes to YouTube to promote my video to go forward. Okay, which doesn't make any sense to me, but we'll do more research on that one, right? So what's going to happen is the people that have money or are, you know, higher up or more popular will be able to push their content more because they have more money and they can make more advertisements, right? They can push their content forward. Where the people that are lower have to also put their money in, but then it becomes a fair game again, right? Where if you have more money, you're getting promoted more because you're promoting your stuff, and the lower tier guys aren't. But if they pay, they are also now promoting their stuff, but they're also going to be below this one because they're already below them, right? So there's like a huge debate going on behind the scenes of YouTube. Is it fair? But life's not fair, right? But so to get my videos more, I have to advertise my videos to push it up in the algorithm. And people are like, I don't know if that's how, you know, if that's fair or not. So he said there's going to be a mass exodus of small content creators or people that just are like, it's not worth my time, and they're going to leave. Which goes back to the whole conversation of getting codes and whatnot, right? Invest money back in your business, buy a game, review the game. Hopefully you get more money because you get more views because you're paying for the game. You get a tax write-off. You know what I mean? So it's the same exact thing. Robert Jones says, shit, I might have to drop a premium and move to ad blocks. Yeah, I think it's... I want to look at what the... Let me see what the price is. I think it's going up. Let's see, September. Yeah, YouTube price increase makes it no longer worth no matter what. YouTube Premium will be increasing its price from $18... Okay, $18 to $32 a month. They're almost doubling it. It's like a 40% increase. Right? Make the problem, sell the solution. Let's put a shit ton of ads on here. People are getting premium. We have enough people on premium that like it. Now you're hooked. Now let's raise the price by 40%. Lucas says, do streamers get anything from YouTube Premium members? We get a small percentage of each premium member, but it's actually better, right? It's actually better if you are just a member of the actual stream, okay? Because we get 70% of that. Travis says 30. Fair is a place to go, ride, eat cotton candy, as a grandmother would say. But that's what they want, bro. This is all planned. Oh, of course. Where will they go? Rumble, X, TikTok? No, he's saying in the video, he's saying they just stop altogether because they don't want to rebuild. They don't want to rebuild on another platform, right? Think about it this way: if I'm an Xbox guy or a PlayStation guy, and I have thousands of games over on that platform, I have sunk cost fallacy in that, right? I'm not going to switch consoles because I have all my games here. If I'm a YouTube content creator and I've built up the last 2 years, 3 years, I got 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, 100,000 people, I'm not just going to move to another platform and try to rebuild that again with no monetization or whatnot, right? The only way they would move is if they had someone. Well, the people are so small, they don't have that much, but they don't want to rebuild again. So they'll just stop. Just stop. I'm not sure if family prices are going up. YouTube will have a 60-second unskippable ad that is also stupid yellow circle thing, but also will do nothing but naked yoga. YouTube kids videos are also demonic. Yeah, there's massive problems going on with YouTube Kids. Those of you that have children, make sure you're looking at your kids' YouTube. My son's clean. Like, I looked at his stuff. He doesn't get anything fed in his stuff. But there's certain content creators that are manipulating or getting around some of the filters and some of the stuff that's going into your kids that are watching that you don't know they're watching. It looks like they're just watching kid-friendly stuff. They're not. So make sure you're checking out your YouTube Kids stuff for your children. Sarge says they're cleaning out the trash without having to do anything. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, you gotta compete. You know. I paid $26 for a family plan right now, but if it goes to 30, yeah, I'm not sure what the family plans are. Let me see. Right now, it's $22.99 per month in America and Canada. I'm not sure if that's going up. Oh, no, here it is. When was this? YouTube Premium subscribers reporting price hikes. Let me see if they have... YouTube premium plans. Premium is it was $12.99. And then premium light was $5.99. That gets ads, limited ads. That's back in 2001 or 2021, 2021. Let me see if I can find an actual relevant article here. Oh, no, this one is from September 23rd. It says YouTube telling... Yeah, let me bring this up. YouTube is telling premium subscribers outside the U.S. that it'll also be paying more for the service soon. Social media users began reporting over a week ago. So far, the higher prices are being reported in regions including EU, Middle East, and South America, according to Android Authority. The price increase affected both individuals of family plans in some EU countries. People also have said they're told that the family plans will also be going up from $17.99 to $25.99 or $11.99 to $13.99 for individuals. Now, obviously, this is outside the United States. I don't have anything for you. It says another Reddit user posts screenshots of premium light plan options accompanied by a beta tag. YouTube has started piloting a version of premium with fewer features than the standard plan in 2021, but told customers last year it was discontinuing it. The price increase sounds like those who also have already hit U.S. users. YouTube individual premium plans went up from $11.99 to $13.99, which is going up way up now. U.S. over a year ago, $22.99 from $17.99. For the family plan, it was $22.99. So I don't know if they're raising the price more than $22 for family plan. Jesus, I mean, even if I go from my membership now is like $13 or whatever it was. So now I have to go up to 22. Sarge says in a matter of months they will double the revenue that you do. I think stock will do. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. So it's gonna be an interesting place about YouTube, right? When I saw that video, I was like, why is a guy who has a guitar channel talking about this? I was like, oh, gotta be pretty important. That's why he's talking about it. So yeah, it's interesting to see that what will happen because people my size on YouTube, right? Those that are not blessed with people that are doing memberships, how are they making their money? They're making money from ad revenue. Okay. My content's very different than everybody else's. There's lots of people out there that get the super chats and whatnot for their channels, but a lot of people run off ad revenue, right? So they make the uploads, they throw the uploads up there. They're making the shorts, they're trying to make it, right? So memberships, there's a huge ordeal for people like myself, right? So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It gives you 6 members per family plan. Well, that would be good if I knew other people that were using YouTube as much as I am. I don't have 6 people I know in my initial circle. Everyone drop YouTube and go back to audiobooks. Yeah, if it gets out of hand, Jones, we'll just go live every day. Actually, is there a live feature on Spotify? I would just go on my own channel. I would look into other routes. It's too expensive to get my own server. That's way too expensive. Way too expensive. All right, let's go with the Call of Duty stuff. As we sidetrack there a little bit, but that's what we do. That's what we do. All right, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to about noon Eastern. We cover news stories, have conversations, keep you entertained for a couple of hours. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So Call of Duty Black Ops 6 could boost Game Pass by up to 4 million subs, but at the cost of 6 million lost sales, analysts predict. Look, here's the thing. I know people look at this and say, well, most people aren't going to buy Call of Duty Black Ops. It's ridiculous to me because Microsoft didn't have the license before, right? It was just Activision, right? And if it's on Game Pass, I'm playing Call of Duty for the first time in 14 years. They're not making money off of me for 14 years, Activision. Okay? $0, 14 years. Xbox is making $20 off of me. And yes, they're not just making the $20 because I'm playing Call of Duty and Call of Duty only. But they had me in Ultimate already, and now I'm playing Call of Duty. How many people are playing Call of Duty for the very first time or trying it because of Game Pass that haven't been? So they're saying Game Pass is up 4 million subs. Okay? But they're saying they also cost them 6 million loss of sales. I was never going to buy it. Right? I'm just one example. I know I'm just one example. I wasn't going to buy it. I haven't bought or paid for a Call of Duty game in 14 years. This is the first time I'm playing it in 14 years on Game Pass. All right? So let's see what this article has to say. So Black Ops 6 comes out today, which is October 25th, and does something that no other Call of Duty game has done before. Launched straight into Game Pass. Okay? Following Microsoft's $69 billion acquisition of Microsoft or Call of Duty maker Activision Blizzard, the pressure is now on gaming business to deliver. With that in mind, Xbox boss Phil Spencer has decided to take the plunge and release Black Ops 6 as a day one Game Pass game. Okay, restricted to Ultimate and PC Game Pass tiers. This monumentous moment, not just Call of Duty, but for Game Pass. When it struggled for growth in recent years, the latest official figure of Game Pass subscriber numbers at 34 million. That's 34 million paying subscribers across console, PC, and cloud. Indeed, Microsoft moved the $1 introduction Game Pass trial just a few weeks before Black Ops 6 launch. That's not news. They've done this in the past as well with other ones. As it did with the last year's Starfield, further evidence that after recent price hikes and tier changes, and the pressure is now on Game Pass to make absolute most of power of Call of Duty. Okay. It says, will it pay off? Will it pay off for Microsoft? In interviews with GameIndustry.biz, analysts predicted that Black Ops 6 could boost Game Pass subscriber numbers by between 2.5 million and 4 million subscribers. However, analysts also predict significant impact on sales of Black Ops 6 Call of Duty. Is usual the best-selling game of the year, but there's now a big question mark of whether this achieves the record once again with Black Ops 6 given the availability on part of Game Pass. Now, Webbush boss Michael Packner told GI that putting Black Ops 6 into Game Pass could result in up to 6 million lost sales based on the idea that 25% of Game Pass subscribers might have bought the game anyway. Okay? Well, there's also a huge percentage, Michael, okay, that didn't buy it at all, and now we're playing the game, right? Counting this, Packner has said that Game Pass could swell by between 3 or 4 million subscribers. This is perhaps expected shift, but it's also overall better for Microsoft and Activision, question mark. Okay, the theory is that getting more players through the door, even before it even has cost of a sale of a game, will eventually pay out because of Call of Duty's lucrative live service, which is fueled by the premium battle passes and cost of cosmetic packs. Microsoft may be playing the long game here, and they're not maybe playing the long game here. They're 100% playing the long game here, right? Like, if we just look at it from just this perspective of it's on Game Pass and it's a paid game, then yes. But that's not what it is. Reality, okay? Reality is that it's a live service game. Reality is they sell microtransactions. Reality is the people that play the game that didn't pay $60, $70, $80, $100 for the early access or whatever all the additions are, they come in, they play the campaign for the first time. They're like, oh, that's pretty good. And then they start playing the zombie mode. Then they start playing the other mode, okay? Then they start paying for microtransactions. They get a season pass, right? Then maybe they stay on Game Pass for 3 months. Maybe they stay on for 4 months. Maybe they got in for Call of Duty, and now they're going to stay for Indiana Jones. Do you see what I'm saying here? Like, this black and white of, well, they're losing sales. Well, they're not, man. They didn't even have Call of Duty. Now they have Call of Duty. Before, they got $0 from Call of Duty, and now they're getting 70% of Call of Duty everywhere and 100% on it on their own platform. Okay? So, let's see. Premium Battle Pass, previous years. Okay, of course, now Microsoft has taken the plunge of Call of Duty. Little is off the table when it comes to Game Pass. The expectations now is that each year, premium Call of Duty game will launch day one on Game Pass, and fans are still waiting for the back catalog to be added. Okay? Well, isn't this funny? The back catalog will be added down the road. They don't want to cannibalize their own brand new game, so slowly they'll start putting the other games on. And then if you want to play those games, you're going to have to pay the $20 to play those old games if you want to play the old games, or go out and buy those old games. Okay? So we've got plenty of more Black Ops 6 ahead of launch, including the strange anamorphic mode, which also Arcanophobic mode, built to support a better audio tech that costs $20 extra. They're paying, and you know people are buying that, right? You know people are paying $20 extra for better audio. Activision's new ambitious plan to beat cheaters, and confirmation it does include the dreaded Riot Shield, okay? If you're jumping into Call of Duty Black Ops 6 multiplayer, check out the essential multiplayer tips and tricks from them, from IGN as well, okay? I find it, no matter what happens, okay, whatever Microsoft does is always bad. It's always bad. It's like, well, they bought $69 billion, and now they're putting the game in more places for more people for no money, basically, for $20. And they're like, oh, they're going to lose all that money. You do understand they're still selling the game, right? We still understand that they're still selling the game, and multiple people are buying the game, right? The Steam numbers, even though it's all combined with all the other Call of Duties, right? If you look up Call of Duty Black Ops 6, let's look at the Steam chart. Yeah, the Steam charts. The last 24 hours? No, that's the wrong one. That is... Where is it? Steam charts. Okay. 24-hour peak is 306,000. Now, obviously, everyone's like, well, that's Game Pass numbers, right? That's Game Pass numbers. It's like, okay. It's still more numbers, right? We can see what happened here. Here's Friday, right? Boom, skyrocketed. This is not the old Call of Duty. This is the new Call of Duty. Right? Here's the old Call of Duty, last year's Call of Duty down here, and then boom, here it is, and now they're like mixed in, right? Right? There's more people playing this game on PC than ever before. Well, not ever before, because last year they had 491. But you see what I'm saying, right? This is just on the PC side, right? Then we have the Game Pass side, and then, mind you, okay, you'll have the people bending backwards going, see, now they have more people playing on Game Pass, but they lost out the sales. It's like, this is what they want. They want people on Game Pass. Do you not understand how they want this to work, right? They want people to get on Game Pass. They want people to get on Game Pass and forget that they're paying for a subscription. They want people to get on Game Pass to forget that they got there for Call of Duty, but they stayed to try Sea of Thieves. They stayed to play Forza Horizon. They stayed for Indiana Jones. They stayed for Avowed when it comes out next year. They stayed for the other games that are coming on the platform, right? That's what they try to do. The more people they can potentially bring in, the better chances they have to get people to stay on for just 4 months, 3 to 4 months, and they pay for the entire, they pay for that section for them, right? Microtransactions, DLCs, play other games, buy other games, get the discount. It's not as black and white as pay for game. That's it. Altered says, by the way, VGC says give it a 3 out of 5 to Veilguard. James Thomas says, so 80 million plus on the X amount of upgrades. What's the 80 million from, Thomas? What are you what's the 80 million that you're talking about there? Oh, 4 million at $20. Gotcha. James says, then, however, many upgrade because lower barrier of entry. Right. Here's a perfect example, right? I played a demo the other day of TG Card Simulator, right? Play the demo. Same with the Storage Hunters. Now, these are smaller games. These are $20 or less games, okay? I played the demo, enjoyed it, and then purchased the game, okay? There's no difference. Most people are playing on Game Pass that are on Xbox. They're going to try it. And then if they like it, they could purchase it. They could buy a microtransaction. They could extend their gameplay. The people that have never had a Game Pass come in for the first time for $20, try it out. Okay? This is what Ubisoft wanted. Ubisoft wanted me to play Star Wars Outlaws, pay the $18, and try to keep me there for the next couple weeks and months. Okay? But it didn't work, right? But that's exactly it. It's a smart business model because it's a low entry point to get in. You're like, yeah, $20. Got a lot of games on here, right? And I get a lot of people look at it and go, well, those are old games that I've already played. Game Pass is not for me. Great. 35 million people disagree with you. You know what I mean? Jason Marshall said Paul Tassi gave Dragon Age an 8.5 out of 10. Hilly says, why do people care if the decision by Microsoft is to reduce game sales? The only question I would have if I wanted to play COD is in which is better buying or getting a VI Game Pass. The good part is the choice. People don't see that, Hilly, right? The thing I've been putting into Discord is the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil type of thing. That's the internet, okay? They don't see that as a good thing, right? They're like rooting against or for the company. They're like, well, they're losing sales. Okay, what does that have to do with you? Nothing. You're just the customer. Buy the game, play the game, whatever you want. You can choose to purchase it. You can choose to purchase it over here. You can purchase it over here. You can play it on Game Pass. You can do what you want with it. Everyone's like, this is terrible. How? For who? For you as the customer? It's not. It's not. It's not bad for the customer, right? And they're sitting back going, oh, this is bad. This is bad for Microsoft. Look at Microsoft. They're failing. They're going down the drain. Microsoft is fine. Microsoft is fine. Okay? Altern says the people on Game Pass 100% would buy the season pass and stay for 4 months. Sure. Why wouldn't they? If you're enjoying yourself, you're like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm not doing this, right? Once I'm done with that campaign, I'm putting the campaign down. I probably won't ever touch multiplayer, right? Definitely not touching multiplayer. Maybe I'll touch the zombie mode. That's about it. Okay? Because I don't really care. It's not that I'm hating the game. I'm enjoying myself. Sarge says it's all about retention, bro. Not just who they got to sign up new. Exactly. Everyone. When I say everyone I'm talking about is the people that are fanboys of one side or the other, right? They're black or white. Sale or no sale. Succeed or not succeed. It's like the business strategy is so much more than what it is. Hey, Titan says 30. What other Ubisoft What other Ubisoft games you played on Ubisoft Plus besides Outlaws? If you did, nothing. I played absolutely nothing. K Titan. I played $18. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. I take that back. I take that back. Okay. I played Riders Republic. I played Riders Republic because my son saw that I got Ubisoft Plus, and then it popped up on the Game Pass, so he downloaded Riders Republic. And we played Riders Republic, and then just 2 weeks later, Riders Republic came on the Game Pass anyway. Okay, but we played Riders Republic, and we played Star Wars Outlaws. I forgot about Riders Republic because it's on Game Pass now. Krebsy says if Nadella's seen too much money left on the table, he could make the decision to prevent future CODs from landing on Game Pass. We'll talk about his article in a second. Illy says it's bad. I just know it. Unable to explain it, but trust me, bro, it's bad. Ignore the fact that you can buy the game everywhere. I never understood it, Hilly. Troy says, did you like the Black Ops campaign? I'm only 3 missions in, technically 2, because we did the opening and then the 2 missions afterwards. I'm enjoying myself so far, Soy, but I haven't played enough to tell you if I liked what I played, but I can't tell you, is the game better or good or... I'm fresh eyes. I haven't played the campaign in 14 years. So I've enjoyed what I've played so far. We'll probably play more this week. Probably tonight. I'm not doing a tomorrow night stream. Maybe I'll be back for Wednesday late stream or something like that. Eclipse says the zombie mode is so fun. If you're a fan of zombies, it's worth for the game pass along. Eclipse says, damn, 30 almost lied to us. No, I forgot because Rider Republic is on Game Pass now. I forgot that 2 weeks before I had it, and it wasn't on Game Pass. Thomas says, think of how many games people got on the Starfield DLC because of Game Pass entirely over time. Does DLC microtransactions just going to justify the Game Pass? Right. Thomas, I have a question. Are you the same Thomas that was on Twitch many years ago? I forget that there was a Thomas that came into my channel years and years ago on Twitch. You might not be the same person. I forget the first name. Soy says the reason people say COD on Game Pass is bad because it's bad for Sony. Yeah, it's not bad for customers. I haven't been on Twitch in a long time. Oh, no, either have I. I haven't been on Twitch in 3 years. I'm talking, I didn't know if you watched me back in like 2016, 17 stuff area. The reason I ask is because the way you're talking and stuff, it's a reminder. It reminds me of someone like that. That's all. Travis says, as a Sony pony, I say people want Game Pass. Let them have it. No impact on me. But apparently it is. Not on you, Travis. I mean on Sony ponies, right? There's some reason that they're like, they're going to lose. Like, does Sony fans understand that every time they purchase something, if it's a microtransaction or the game itself on PlayStation, that's going towards Microsoft? They understand that, right? Lucas says, I've been shamed many times for enjoying subscription services. It doesn't make any sense. Eclipse says it didn't even lose people, though. They also said the same amount of people that also play on Steam. That right there shows you that Game Pass didn't matter. If people were going to buy the game, they were also going to buy. Right, I totally forgot. The number on Steam is just Steam. That's not people playing on Game Pass, right? That's the people that purchased it on Steam. Right? Then we had the people playing on Game Pass computer. Then we have the people playing on Game Pass. Then we have the people that bought it on Xbox. Then we have the people that also bought it on PlayStation. That's 306,000 people, okay, that purchased the game. Now, obviously, we know that's a percentage, right? We know that's a percentage. That means about 1.5, 2 million people purchased it on Steam, right? That's concurrent. And remember, it's on Battle.net. A lot of people use Battle.net on PC because of WoW. There you go. I didn't even think about that. Eclipse. So there's another aspect of it that Battle.net is also there that's not being counted on PC. I don't know that answer, Hilly. I haven't looked too much into if people like it or not. One of the guys that works on the farm, he played it. He says he's purchased every single Call of Duty game in existence, and that he says that the multiplayer is really bad right now, and he was explaining to me that the spawn points are bad, and I went, that sounds like the same exact problem with that Call of Duty had in all of existence. Okay, but he says there's a couple problems with it. He says it's bad right now, but it's going to be really good, is what he says, right? And that's a person that bought every single one of the Call of Duty games. See, Jones is like, yeah, it's COD. Yeah, I don't think there's a. I'm sure there's people out there, Hilly, that this is the worst Call of Duty ever because of Microsoft, right? I'm sure people are complaining because they switched it to RPG or whatever it is in the game, or more of an open thing. This is the worst thing because of Microsoft, even though Microsoft had nothing to do with the build, and it was just the way it is because that's the way they were building it before they bought it over. Titan says, Modern Warfare 3 set a low bar last year with 4-hour campaign. I hope it's not 4 hours because we're 3 hours in. Hilly says it's actually helpful. It's God. Hilly, I saw an article, a tweet. There's a tweet that DayZ is the most popular it's been in a decade right now. DayZ is more popular right now than it has been in almost a decade because of an update they've done. Well, I don't know if it's groundbreaking in the video game industry, but Call of Duty is like an RPG now, right? It's got like dialogue choices and whatnot. Jason, is that the one that I played back in Modern Warfare 2 2009? Is that the one you're talking about, or the one that just came out a couple years ago? There was a COD with no campaign at all, and people put 100 on 10 with Modern Warfare 3. Black Ops 6 campaign is very similar to Cold War 2020. That means nothing to me. I don't know what that means. Does that mean it's 8 hours? 10 hours? Billy says DayZ had a quality of life on all maps and new map. They added more stuff for free, and then the new map was optional paid DLC. What? Optional paid DLC? How dare they? They should do No Man's Sky where they give it out for free. These bastards trying to make money 10 years later. The dialogue stuff, the same themes, the mini games, etc. Oh, so was there an RPG element back in 2020, Krebsy? Like I said, I'm fresh eyes on Call of Duty. I know nothing about Call of Duty campaigns in the last 14 years. Travis says, honestly, I think they should alternate between current stuff and sci-fi, but that's just like sci-fi. You're talking about Call of Duty, like swapping it up? I don't know. I think games like Call of Duty, Battlefield should stick with stories. There's so many stories they could tell. I know people don't like old school, like World War I and World War II type of stuff, but they could tell so many stories, like they're doing in this particular one in the Cold War era, okay, or the Middle East, 90s era. They can tell so many stories of past wars. I don't know why they always go into like the modern day stuff. I'm okay with the stuff that tells about history because it's history. It's kind of interesting, right? It takes it like potentially telling a story where it's set in the like realistic time, but they tell you their own little stories what potentially could have happened. I'm okay with that stuff. Ellie says they let you play hundreds of community maps for free. They're very optional. Plus, the map is bigger than nearly every shooter in history. Interesting. Ellie says, in my opinion, Zombies doesn't show 4 years worth of development campaign. Is slow at first, but picks up. Multiplayer is like every other COD multiplayer, and personally, I don't see why it gets the praise it is. Look, COD is the Madden football of the first-person shooters. That's it. That's the reason. That's the reason. All right, let's go on to the next story. You guys voted. I'm going to end the poll now because we know which one's in order. You're welcome. Jones, you're welcome. Okay. So Microsoft CEO pay rises 63% to $79 million despite devastating year for layoffs. If you guys like what I do here, we cover news stories, have conversations. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to noon Eastern, like I said. We're just trying to get you through a couple of hours of your day. So if you like it, do all those things, okay? So Microsoft CEO pay raises 63% to $79 million despite devastating year for layoffs. Okay, so 2,550 jobs lost in 2024. Now, that's interesting to know that number. I wonder if that's the... I'm assuming the 1900s included in that, and then the ones on top of that, right? All right. So, Microsoft boss Nadella will earn a wallet-bursting $79.1 million in the fiscal year, up 63% of the competition for 2023. Now, the huge boost to Nadella's pay is both cash and stock, announced by Microsoft last night, comes after a positive year overall for the company's financial revenues, but the turbulent 12 months of its employees. I want to pause there for a second, right? I want to pause there for a second because here's one going against the other, okay? The employees are making the stuff for this guy to make the job, right? To have his job. Now, this guy's job is to make the most money possible, Okay? So when these people go down and fail or get fired, his money goes up, right? Because he's making money for the company overall. Okay? So you could hate him. You could hate CEOs, but CEOs that fire people and make more money get the raises because they're making more money for the company and the stockholders and everything else, okay, for the investors, okay? His job is literally 100% against everybody else's because he's looking to raise this money, and if this money does this, he's got to find a way to make it continue doing this, right? So he gets a raise because he's doing his job very well, even though the other people are doing their job and they get fired, okay? In 2024, it's seen 2 mass layoffs in Microsoft with 1,900 staff layoff in January before the further 650 Xbox employees were shown the door in September. Now, I have another question because no one's actually reported on this. The 1,900 staff was announced ahead of time saying they will be letting go of 1,900 people, okay? And then down the road, they announced 650 more. No one has reported that this is an additional on top of that, or did I miss it? Okay, or is the 650 part of that 1,900 because they did say that this year they'll be releasing 1,900 people? Okay, I would like to know that. Okay, so regardless if Microsoft shares are up and the company's market value is now higher than $3 trillion as it works and capitalized on the rise of AI. Microsoft moved to shut down 3 Bethesda game studios in June, Arcane Austin, and now external Tango Gameworks and AlphaDog, as Xbox Phil Spencer discussed the lack of overall growth in the console market. Writing in Microsoft's 2024 annual report released last night, Nadella painted a rosier picture, however. He says, we are now bringing great games, or I'm sorry, quote, we are now bringing great games to more people in more devices, unquote, Nadella wrote. Quote, with our acquisition of Activision Blizzard King, which closed October of 2023, we've added hundreds of millions of players to our ecosystem, and we now have 20 franchises that have generated over $1 billion in lifetime revenue, from Candy Crush, Diablo, Halo, to Warcraft, to Elder Scrolls, and to Gears of War. Now, I know exactly what everyone's going to think right now, okay? The Pony Boys on the other side will be like, well, they didn't do that themselves. They bought it. In business, it doesn't fucking matter, okay? He's saying exactly what it is. He's like, yeah, we have. He didn't say we made these things get $1 billion. He says we have 20 companies or 20 franchises, okay? We now have 20 franchises. He didn't say we now produce 20, okay? He says we now have 20 franchises that made over $1 billion, okay? It says, and with Xbox Cloud Gaming, we continue to innovate and offer players more ways to experience the games they love, where, when, and how they want. And for some reason, people are upset about this. Right? People are upset about this because, what's going on, Waterbear? People are upset about this because now they can play their games anywhere, everywhere they want. And they're like, well, they're just not giving us good games. Just not giving us good games, even though majority of the games that come out in the landscape of video games all come out on all platforms. Okay? So much so, Square Enix, Ubisoft, and many other publishers and developers out there have decided to put their games everywhere because they want to make as much money as possible. The only games that are not coming to Xbox are games that PlayStation has paid for in some way, shape, or form to get them on the platform, maybe help them out a little bit, okay? Like, those are the only games, right? Baldur's Gate 3, yes, it wasn't a day and date on Xbox, but it's on the platform. It comes out a little bit later at the time, okay? That cross-platform publishing program will also continue over the next few months with the arrival of Indiana Jones: The Great Circle for PC and Xbox in December, and then in PlayStation in February in 2025 with the expectations of other games will follow. Okay? So, here's the thing. A lot of people look at Microsoft, okay? A lot of people look at Microsoft and say, well, they don't know what they're doing. They've lost what they were. And I kind of want to go back a little bit because I don't think they lost what they were. A couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, I said that they've lost their identity of what their franchises are. But they haven't lost their identity. If you remember, Xbox has always been trying, since after the Xbox, original Xbox, they've always tried to make Xbox a multi-box type of item. If it was with the Kinect, if it was trying to put the television set-top box, they were trying to make it a piece of entertainment. And what they were trying to do back then was try to get in more homes. They were trying to get the casual people, not just the gamers, but they were trying to get people that watch television to pick up one of these boxes so they could watch TV and also become gamers. They were looking for the more casual market, okay? They weren't looking for the hardcore gamers. They were trying to get the hardcore gamers and the casual market, okay? And over the years, it's evolved. They got pushed back, right? And sometimes when they get pushed back, they're like, hey, we're going to do this. And everyone's like, no, you're not. You're not going to raise the price of that. And they're like, all right, we're not going to raise the price of that. Then they wait a couple years, and then they raise the price of that, and then everyone's fine with it because of the value, perceive of value, okay? Xbox was always trying to become this set-top box everywhere where everyone's watching the stuff. Now just look at what Gamepass is. Instead of putting a set-top box on your thing, they're doing the exact same strategy, but now they're putting it everywhere, right? You want to play your game? We don't care if you're a casual gamer. We don't care if you're a hardcore gamer. We don't care if you're a gamer on a mobile phone. We don't care if you're a gamer on PC. We don't care if you want to buy a console. We don't care if you want to play on the television set with a thumb drive, okay? They don't care. They're just trying to get into more places for more people, and that was their business model the entire time. This is the exact same thing they did with the software in the past, and this is exactly what they're doing with the Xbox now in the future, right? Xbox was trying to be a set-top box, and now there is no box. It's just their platform everywhere. These are my thoughts. Let me know your personal thought in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, please check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Oh, you're good. Jones, you know I like to give shit because I care, right? You said something, I just run with a joke. Right, so don't take it personal. I'm just making, banter back and forth. I adjusted. I didn't leave it up. I know what the last story is now. So we'll fix it. We'll make adjustments. D says, I want to see added these articles. How many people get hired at Microsoft every year because it's a huge 18/6 rule. So we lose people and then gain people all the time. Well, they don't. No one reports on mass hiring, Z. They only report on mass losses for jobs because one is happy and one is sad, and news is never happy. Waterbear says, played Call of Duty Black Ops 6 over the weekend. Best COD. Zombies is fun as hell. There you go. Travis says, this is what funny to me is. If you want to, you always have a manipulated so it doesn't fit or does people love to go, well, this is the best game on October 27, 2024 at 10:28 a.m. Krebsy says 2,500 equals 1,900 round 1 plus 650 round 2. Yeah. No, that doesn't answer my question, Krebsy. The way they report the news, right? Originally, again, the 1,900 in the beginning of the year when they said they were releasing the 1,900, they said this year we're letting go of 1,900 people. But then 6 months down the line, they let go of another 250, then 500, whatever. No one has ever said in any of the articles that we read, at least on here, that those amount of people were part of that 1,900. They just added to it and said, oh, this is an additional 550, even though originally they said the 1,900. They didn't fire 1,900 exactly that day. They said, we'll be releasing 1,900 people, is what they said. Waterbear says, I love Game Pass as a consumer, though. Hell, without it, I wouldn't have found out the fun of COD Black Ops 6 Zombies was. It was also rare to buy COD anyway. But I paid $11.99 a month for it. Yeah, I'll do it. Exactly. What's going on, Vandal? That's your granddaddy? Nice. All CEOs wear gray shirts. Do they? Is it to stay neutral? Because they wear red to be like it's a power move, right? Sarge says same model, different approach. Yeah, it's exactly right, Sarge. You know, it's funny. On the mobile app, the poll is at the bottom. But on the PC, it's at the top. It's weird, Titan. It's weird. So let's talk about the CEO, right? Obviously, as a poor man, okay, and everyone's making millions and billions of dollars. You look at this and say, these sons of bitches, right? But we do understand, or at least I understand, that the people that are CEOs of companies, okay, Akuta Papa, thank you very much for the 21 months. Appreciate that very much. If you guys have your memberships, there's a little thing at the bottom. If you want to shout out your thing, you can put that there as well. Akuta Papa says, morning. He says, morning. 30, closing in on 2-year mark. You've been here longer than 2 years, but this channel, for this channel, yeah, it's been, it'll be January, because we got monetized right at the end of the year of 2022. So, yeah. And I appreciate your support this entire time. Appreciate that. Cheers all around. Cheers all around. I got to make that louder. I got to make that a separate... It's not loud enough. I have the music playing. I got to figure out to separate the audio. I'm on PC. It's at the bottom. Mine on YouTube, on, what's it called? On Chrome. Not Chrome. Yeah, Chrome. It's at the top. Hilly says, DayZ has sponsored me to say DayZ rocks unofficially. Thank you very much for the 10 months. Appreciate you. I'm gonna make the music louder and the claps louder. Is that when you found me, Water? Did you find me during the... I thought you were here before Avengers. Came for Avengers, stayed for all the rest of the shit talking. Yeah, I was... You know what's funny? On Twitch, when we first started... I forgot that I started Avengers on Twitch. We had a good community over there with Avengers. We used to pass it along to Revealing Too Much and Bob Duck Weave and a whole bunch of people over there. Oh, it's all good, Jones. Yeah, it's all good. Ellie, thank you very much for the continued support as well. You know, I like that game a lot, man. I have over 1,100 hours in that game. I really liked Avengers. Jason says, I've been here for 4 years if you count the Avengers Twitch days. That's crazy. Has it been that long, Jason? Because it's been two... Yeah, because it started in 2020. Oh, right, Water. So you've been here for 4 years. I know it's been longer than that. Yeah, Avengers came out in 2020. It's 2024. I was going to say, Water, you've been here for a long time. It wasn't just 2 years. Because we had a YouTube channel, just 30 and Still Gaming. Right? And that was just uploads of stuff. But we used to also do Twitch, just straight up gameplay and stuff like that. And we've been doing this for 4 years, which is crazy. Because we did this morning show, but on 30 and Still Gaming. And then that channel wasn't doing very well. So then we started a brand new channel. Got monetized in 3 months. And it's been very good ever since. Could be better, but it's been very good. It's doing this. It's doing this. As the CEO, I'm going to give myself a raise. It's not going to be as much as Nadella, but, you know. Yeah, because I made it a choice. For those of you that started with me back on, like, Twitch and then came over to my YouTube channel, I gave you guys in our Discord an OG tag, right? An OG tag. So you guys are, like, in... So if you're a paid member or a non-paid member... Because you guys were there for me in the beginning, I just let you guys keep going. Because I remember where I came from and where I'm going. So let's talk about Nadella, right? I know a lot of people look at it and say that, you know, he should take a pay cut and whatnot. He's just doing his job, right? His job is to make the company more money. And when this goes up, he gets a raise, right? I know it looks shitty because... Pete Carson right? He keeps buying cars. Meanwhile, everyone else, 250 people had to lose their job as he's buying. It looks poor taste, but he got the job because of he's doing what he's doing, right? And the people that got their job to make the game did what they did. They made the game, and then when the game is done, they get let go. East Vandal says, do you not go on Reforged's channel on Fridays anymore? The reason that we haven't been doing it in the past, Vandal, was originally it was summertime when we were doing it. And I went on vacation. He went on vacation. Then we came back, and then, we were just not schedules didn't combine, right? Then he changed sort of what the foundation was of Fridays, where he does the Friday stream where it's all news. And now he's doing that all for his whole channel. But on Fridays, we did the news, and then we just did topics. Well, a lot of the topics that he brought up was PlayStation versus Xbox type of stuff. And I don't want to partake in conversations like that because to me, it's just stupid. And then at that part, I decided that I have been focusing on my channel more than going on someone else's channel to do stuff. So we just haven't aligned. And now I'm doing Friday streams myself, right? So that's the reason I haven't been on the show. But the original reason was because of just summertime. He was on vacation, I wasn't. Then I went on vacation, and he wasn't. And then it was a month. I think the last one we did was 2 months ago. Jack says Nadella also takes out Xbox being part of his bonus or something like that. I'm not sure. Is that what it's part of? Robert Jones says no one should be mad at CEOs. The company or the system is the problem. That's true, Jones, right? He's doing his job. They're doing their job. It's just that, why remove the guy who's making you money when the people down below, the peons, the ants, the worker bees, right? That's majority of why you're losing money, because you don't have a project going on right now. It sounds heartless from my side, but working in the film industry for so long that I was a freelance worker, right? So I got paid really well when I worked. And sometimes I worked for 2 days for a music video or a commercial. And then other days I worked on a television film, which my pay wasn't as high as working on a music video or whatnot. I made less money, but I had longer days, so I made more money over the long period. Sometimes I'm working on feature films, right? And I was always a contract worker. And once that project's done, I'm fired, right? I can collect unemployment at the unemployment office until my next job, right? I never did, because that's not how I feel. I feel like that should be for people that actually need it, but nonetheless, people do it, right? So if I work 2 days, then I can collect unemployment. Then I go back to work, and not collecting unemployment type of stuff. Dolphin says, I just realized I was an hour behind. All right, that's normal, isn't it, Dolphin? 30, you should really host a COD 6 zombie game night, to be honest. It's the best zombie game. Maybe we'll do that Friday. Maybe we'll do it Friday. We'll do a member stream. If it's not maybe I could do it at night on Friday. We could do it in the afternoon. I'm trying to make an extra stream on Fridays for members. For the longest period of time, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I want to make some time. I have the mornings where I can do the stream from 10 to 12 or 12 to 1. Or I'm sorry, 10 to 1. So Fridays could be those stream things. But it does make sense. A lot of you guys are at work on Fridays. So maybe we can add a Friday night stream and do games like that. If people play. If we don't have people playing, then I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Krebsy says, rumor is claimed that taken with a grain of salt, Bioware is sending DMCAs to those criticizing Dragon Age Veilguard in videos or pictures. Interesting. What about if I criticize them and don't bring it up at all? Sarge says, worker bees make product that sells to give him his money. Explain it to me. But they pay them to... Right, worker bees work for free, by the way, just to let you know, Sarge. But these worker bees actually get paid, and then once they're done making that product, they let them go. Dolphin says, I told Lono I'm revoking my membership until I get my Fridays with you two again. It might be a while. If there's something to talk about, I'll be more than glad to go over there. Akuta Papa says, people also need to realize that CEO do a lot of work and are often moving almost 24/7, 365. It's not like they're just sitting around relaxing while bathing in millions. Right. Robert Jones says, companies don't give a F about the employees. We're just tools. That's it. That's why I call worker bees worker ants. Travis says, I just explained to a friend who's like, I'm not sure on Dragon Age. I'm getting it a physical when I'm done. If it's good, I'll let my friend borrow it. The disc, you know how it is supposed to become. We'll see how the game works. Look, I'm not rooting against it. I saw a tweet go out of a still frame with a line of dialogue, and I was like, come on. Now, someone that played it early posted it or whatnot. I'll believe it when I see it, but it's just like, why? It's a fantasy world, man. Why are we doing this? Jack says, when Xbox didn't meet projections, Satya, I can't say his name. I'm just going to call him Nadella, said that it's not risking my bonus. Look, I would be a type of person, and this is truthful. I'm not saying this just to blow smoke up your asses. If I was a CEO of a company, and I truly loved my job, and I didn't want people to lose their jobs, I would be the type of person that would take a pay cut. I would. I mean, I seriously do this every single day. You think I'm making like millions and billions of dollars? No, I do this because I love doing it. Right? I'll work jobs to help somebody out. Not because I want money. I'll literally take a job and help somebody because they need help. That's the type of person I am. Right? Call me stupid. You can call me whatever. I feel like if I paid something forward, then it would come back to me tenfold type of thing. You know what I mean? Buddha Papa says, Robert Jones, not saying that they aren't overpaid, just saying that the work is way more than most people in the company. Sure. Yeah, each their own, right? Something that's, there's a difference, right? There's a difference, and I don't want to get political, but like running a business and running a country, both positions are high up, right? This guy's very busy running the business with thousands of people that they're running, tens of thousands. And this is different because he's running a country, right? Both very stressful, both doing their job and whatnot. How come the guy who runs the country only gets this much money, but the guy who runs the company is making 10 times more than that? His job is much more stressful than that guy's job. You know what I mean? Eclipse says, well, I'm not getting Dragon Age. Skill Up convinced me that they made it into a Pixar game. Oh, does he have his review out? Should we talk about that instead of the U.S. copyright thing? You could do that instead. I like watching Skill Up stuff. Titan says, waiting for honest review of Dragon Age. Access journalism right now. Robert Jones says, private companies have the flexibility to take pay cuts and shift profits. Publicly traded companies are all profit 100%. 100% of the time. You're absolutely 1,000% correct on that statement, Jones. Yep. Always this. Always this. No, I get it, Akuta Papa, but I'm talking about just the stress level. You know what I'm saying? Like, my whole point was, Akuta Papa's saying, or not Altern, sorry. Akuta Papa, but what I'm saying is, the guy's stressful job, okay, and he doesn't get paid as much. You see what I'm saying? It's all in perspective of what you're running. Now, obviously, a person that's running a company making millions and billions of dollars, that's every right. He can do that. Okay? It's just the optics look bad when you fire 2,500 people and you give yourself a bonus. That's all. Mortis Mole Gaming is my go-to RPG reviews. He's 100% of all games before his reviews. He is great. I'll have to check him out. The people that get layoffs are placeholders for CEOs' bonuses. Right, they're like, how many people do you 2,500 times their salaries, you get a percentage of that. I'll take a 30% bonus this year. They're like, all right, sounds good. Oh, Vanguard fails. Those who thought it would be Game of the Year get a reality check. It could fail publicly, Krebsy. It could fail publicly and still win Game of the Year. I mean, look at Hogwarts Legacy. It succeeded publicly. 25 million copies sold. Didn't get one nomination. Dolphin says, I'm so confused on the hate of Dragon Age minus the random DEI involved. Looks like a solid game. I have no interest in it only because it doesn't look interesting to me, right? Not to say it doesn't look interesting. It just doesn't look interesting to me, right? I haven't given shit to it at all. The only thing I've brought up in the past, because when it was Dreadwolf, okay, when they were making Anthem and they had lots of turmoil behind the scenes, and I've said this months and months and months ago, I said, be careful with Dragon Age when it comes out, and that's before we saw anything about it, okay? I said they've had massive amount of problems with this game. They changed it behind the scenes. Okay, they were forced to use the Frostbite engine like they were in Anthem. Then they changed it. They changed the story. They've done a bunch of stuff. Okay, so from that aspect, it reminds me of Skull and Bones and how they changed things behind the scenes. It's been in development for a really long time. So I've said it from a perspective of don't buy it day one because see what it is when it comes out. Because of all the stuff that was happening behind the scenes. I have never brought up in any way, and I'm not saying you said I did, but what I'm saying is I haven't brought up anything about the DEI or anything like that, okay? I've been talking about the game that I would stay away from it when it comes out because they've had so many bad problems behind the scenes, so many developers, so many leads leave, and then people come in and change the story that I wouldn't touch it. I would wait for it to see what happens, what it scores. And obviously, if you're a big Dragon Age fan and you don't give two shits about if it's good or bad, you just want to play Dragon Age, then by all means, go buy it. But if you're on the cusp about it, I would hold off because, again, there was a completely different game behind the scenes. And we know that games in 2024 don't come out complete, especially AAA games. They come out in some sort of state form, okay, and then they get fixed over time. And ironically, I wasn't wrong about any of the other games that had bad development cycles behind the scenes that came out and they kind of just flopped on the ground. Right? People don't talk about these things though, Dolphin. They talk about the wokeness and stuff. It's like, no, they literally lost like 4 lead developers while they were making the game. They changed the writers. They changed the story. They changed the game. They had problems with the game engine. Waterbear says, it looks like Dungeons and Dragons instead of Dragon Age. You know? What they're looking for. I can agree with that, Jason. Right? Listening to developers that worked on the game that are no longer with the company, I'm like looking at this going, it's just the Dragon Age by name. It's not really Dragon Age anymore. And what I said when they first showed it, I said, wow, it actually looks pretty good. I said, but it's not a Dragon Age game. Right? They've changed it so much, they could have started a brand new... It could have been a brand new game just called Veilguard. Right? Take the Dragon Age out of it and just call it Veilguard. You'll be like, oh, wow, that Veilguard game looks really interesting. trying to find the article that we read like years ago. But Google doesn't want to do the search, you know what I mean? Yeah. So Veilguard has in full production for 4 years. Technically, it's been 10 years since the previous Dragon. So they started, and I shit you not. They literally had this game in production when Anthem came out. Okay. So much so they took and removed the people from Dragon Age over to Anthem to help Anthem. Then they put them back. Then they changed the group. Then they lost the writers. Then they lost lead staff members. Okay. There was so many issues that happened. Okay. I'm telling you right now, this game's going to come out. It's going to have a lot of little issues. Okay. But look, that's not going to stop anyone that likes the game. Okay. East Vandal says Dragon Age hasn't been Dragon Age since the first Dragon Age. Travis, what I love about your statement there, okay, because you like this game, you say this. Now, I'm gonna replace one of the words for you, okay? Most people who hate on this game don't realize Fallout, okay, wasn't a perfect game. It was good, but it wasn't amazing, right? Most people that hate on this game don't realize that Elden Ring wasn't a perfect game. It was good, but it wasn't this amazing. Most people who hate on this game, insert game name here, wasn't perfect game, but it was also good, but it wasn't amazing game. See, you see what I'm saying? You can say things like this for games that you like, but you totally shit on things that are not like the games that you like. You see what I'm saying? Robert Jones says, as a casual observer, the change from strategic action RPG to straight action is mildly concerning. Z says, yes, the conversation is pretty funny because Dragon Age 2 changed the models, so why is everyone so upset that Take and keeps changing it? I think they've gone too far. And I don't want to put words in their mouth, but I think they've taken a step too far. Not for me. I think for the people that were liking the old Dragon Age, that each one changed a little bit. But I think they changed it a little too much for people. And lots of people don't like change. Especially when you change it too much, right? But if you look at it, let's take a game like Grand Theft Auto, where it was top down, to what Grand Theft Auto 3 turned out to be, completely changed. Now, did people look at that and go, that's not my Grand Theft Auto, right? No, they didn't, because they liked the game, right? There was 2 other Grand Theft Autos before that. 3 games, actually, with the European one. Okay. Hilly's over here going, DayZ is perfect. That's why I don't want to play it, Hilly. I don't want to play a perfect game. I'm going to let it be, because if I play DayZ and find something wrong with it, I don't want to ruin it for you. So DayZ is perfect. Yeah, GTA 1, GTA London, GTA 2, and then it switched to GTA 3, right? Completely changed what it was. Yeah, see, I don't like games like where I have to start over all the time. Like I'm okay if I start a new Minecraft map or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that. But like if I die and I start all over again, like a hardcore mode type of thing, nah, I'm good. Roic says to completely change the core mechanics is a little too far. Going to be able to control all your party members just to issuing the commands is just too much change for a lot of people. Yeah, and I think that's what it is. I think not only is it visually too much change, but the mechanics are too much of a change. There's just way too much change. It doesn't feel like a Dragon Age for a lot of people. He says State of Decay and DayZ are so different, it's impossible to quantify the amount of differences. Permadeath is what makes it good. Now, I'll agree with you. With State of Decay, right? State of Decay is not, it is a hardcore mode, but there's a lot more to State of Decay, right? Where DayZ is just like, there's a difference, and like you're saying, Hilly, there's so much different, right? I'm okay. But then again, when I played State of Decay, I liked State of Decay, but I didn't love State of Decay, right? I like playing it. We played it with Sarge back in the day, 1 and 2. 2 was co-op, right? We played 1. I like investing time. And if you lose, you know what I mean? There's different strategies to keep your guys alive, who you want to level up, who you want to save. He says, can't start over, pussy. This changed every game when they just used to be to die, start over. Kudapapa says, the problem is that the people yelling are still the only a small amount people never used tactics and planned the tactics. Well, here's the thing. Dragon Age itself is also a small minority of people that love that game, right? So let's take all the outsiders out. Take all the outsiders that don't play that game out of the equation. Now let's just assume that the people that are complaining about Dragon Age are the fans of Dragon Age, okay? And now they don't like that game. They're the minority of the minorities, but it's very vocal because they love what they love and they don't like the changes that happened with it, right? I'm an outsider here. I enjoyed Dragon Age 1 and 2, okay? But I haven't played since then. Jason, yeah. East Vandal says they should have just went back to the real time with pause for Dragon Age since the old school turn-based games have had such a good resurgence. Unfortunately, it's hard to develop for game trends. Yeah, and if we go back to other Bioware games, they didn't even know what Anthem was. 7 years in development, 4 years into the actual development of that game, they didn't know what it was until they showed it at the, was it award show or E3 or whatever, and they're like, oh, that's the game we're making, right? Trying to plan for something in the future that you don't even know what you want yet. Altern says Dragon Age was a small minority, and now taking in consideration to the minority of the modern audience, will it make it even more minority? Oh yeah, it's even smaller part of it. Oh wait, Krebsy said, "Oh my God, sound the alarm!" Marathon tweeted. The tweet is, "Yep, that's it. It's an emoji." Now back to your regular scheduled program. What? It's just an emoji? That's all they put? Eclipse says, and right, there's a problem with they wanted a bigger player base for the game, so they made it for a bigger player base and not the people that love the game. And that's a problem with a game that's a sequel to a sequel to a sequel to a sequel, right? You don't take a game, fourth game in, and then change it so much to broaden the audience. You start a brand new franchise, and then try to get people in. But see, they can't do that. They can't do that because they don't want to take the risk of making a brand new IP to see if it works. They just want to take the game that worked already and then change the way. And then when it doesn't work in one same way, shape, or form, then they can blame it on the people that it's your fault it didn't work, not their fault they didn't want to change it. Travis says, 30. It's funny to me that Legendary Drops said that they shouldn't even say it has these scars. People should just know what you can make in character. Everyone is included. I don't know what that's reference to. I know you're talking about Legendary Drops. I didn't see the video. So he said that they shouldn't even say it has scars. People should just know that if you make the character, everyone is included. I don't know what that's in context to. Krebs, yeah, that might be also because they fired the guy that handled the account and left the keyboard on the emoji only. Papa says 30 exactly. While the tactical planning was good for stuff, I didn't use it much because I was crafting the character in specific roles to fit the party. Like down the road, if Dragon Age Veilguard gets really good reviews and a good game, and it's cheaper down the road, I'll pick it up. You know what I mean? Isn't Veilguard a follow-up to the DLC of a sequel? Talk about a barrier of entry. Right. It just seems like a poor decision to broaden the audience of the fourth game. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's just take the Dragon Age out of it. This is a brand new game by Bioware called Veilguard. Are you interested? Do the characters that they showed, are you interested? Maybe, right? Because they're starting off new, but the IP wouldn't sell. No one wants to take risks. Nobody wants to take risks about a new IP. It cost too much money. It was in development way too long. It changed too much, right? So we'll see what happens. We're not going to get to the fourth story. We're just going to bullshit for the rest of the time. The last story we were going to cover was the U.S. Copyright Office refuses to allow remote access out of print games. We can push that to tomorrow. He was saying if a person has a top scar in real life and they buy a game like Veilguard, they have a right to make themselves a character creation inclusion is implied. So if I have a scar like Harry Potter across my forehead, I'm supposed to... that game company is supposed to be able to put a scar on the forehead so I can get represented. Is that what you're saying? But why would they do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, to go, well, there could be a guy with one arm. We should make the guy a character with one arm. Right? Well, there could be a person with one eye. We should make a one-eyed character. See, I know you're quoting something from somebody else. I would have to watch that video and hear what he actually said, because I hate playing telephone. Clip says, see, what they could have done in this situation is made it where they put scars anywhere. They want it if you want to make yourself as a character, you would do that. Let's see. Not too sure about the characters, but put use of the color purple so much. I want this game so bad. Did you cover how the FTC is cracking down on fake game reviews and review bombing? I have not, Vandal. I didn't even know that was a thing. If you have a story about that, and you want to post it in our Discord, you can put that in the submitted story section. Papa says 30. I guess to sue the company because you aren't represented. Yeah, I don't understand. I would have to listen to the video. Or you could have just made it where you could put the scars anywhere on the body. No, it's got to be exactly where my scar is. Not only should I be able to put a scar on my head, but I should be able to take that scar and move it on the head. You know what I mean? Like, really? I'll accept that as long as the game is flawless when it comes out. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I can take a scar and move it anywhere on my forehead, a big fucking forehead, by the way, okay? I should be able to make the game work. There should be no bugs or glitches in that game. You're like, man, this game is so fucking broke and buggy, but I can move that scar on my forehead. I feel represented. DEI arguments aside, it's stupid to campaign for less options in a character creator. I just don't understand. I mean, you could do what you want in a character creator. All I'm saying is to assume that everything will be represented in a character creator is just kind of weird to me. And where do you draw the line? Is my point, right? My point is, if you put a scar because someone has a scar on their forehead or on their ear or whatever, what about the person that's missing a nose or missing an ear or, you know, my hair is short, but it's not that short. You know what I mean? Or it's long, but you don't have hair. You have hair that's this long, but you don't have hair that this is long. Like, where do you go to make everyone happy? You can't make everyone happy. As a black person, I like seeing representation of myself in games. I'm sure trans and gay folks feel the same way. Sure. But at the same time, if I'm playing a character and it's a character creation and they decide to put different color skins, cool. We're talking colored skins is one thing, but to make it where I'm a trans person with one ear with a scar above my eyebrow, and because I don't have the scar above my eyebrow, it's not representation of me. It's a little weird, right? Color of someone's skin and being super detailed is a little different. Again, I don't know what Legendary Drops said. I would have to watch his video. What did you say, Travis? Sorry, I found it. Found what? What I said. Rowick is not an agenda. It's just should just be assumed it will be made to where everyone can make what they want. I mean, if you say that, then why not say it for anything? Well, this game should be what I like. I envisioned this game being this way, and it wasn't that way. I don't understand. This is kind of an extreme argument. No, it really isn't, right? You said that because you're a black man, you want to be represented. And I said, that's fine. But the people are saying that because of a scar. Now, you want everyone to feel included, right? Not only are you a black man, but you have a scar and you're missing one ear. Well, if you can't make your character in the character model miss one ear and have a scar above it, do you feel represented? Right? It's the same thing. How far do you make the character creation go so everyone feels included? As he says, representation makes all the sense in the world when it comes to the consumer. But the business needs to make money and will market the game. You could also think the best way. So do character creators need to take a photo of yourself and have the AI in the game model it for you? Maybe. Maybe that's what they do. You know what's funny? Instead of saying top scars, if they had just made scars that you can put anywhere you want, is a non-issue. I mean, I'll be honest. Most of these games are in first person, It doesn't really matter what you make your character. If it's a third-person game and you're putting it out there, cool. But there's a lot of fantasy games out there. Not only is there a white guy and a black guy and a girl and a right? There's fat characters and skinny characters. There's also elves and orcs and different stuff, right? That's why it's fantasy, not reality. Make whatever character you want. You want to make a blue-haired, yellow-faced, fat person with, one leg bigger than the other. Sure, great. Do your thing. Who am I to stop you? It's your game. Play with it the way you want. I just think it's absurd to think that the creators have to give every single piece of customization is just a little absurd. That's all. Well, Vandal, I'm talking about the scar because that is what Travis brought up. See, I have conversations of the actual topic we're talking about. He was talking about a scar. I said it's a little ridiculous to ask about the scar across all things. You're the one that brought up about you're black and the person that's trans or gay wants to be represented. I didn't bring that up. You did. We were talking about a scar and customization on an actual character. Dolphin says, Tony Hawk Underground on the PlayStation 2 let you take a picture of yourself. Where the fuck is that feature? Oh, it's still here. It's just terrible. To this day, it's still a bad feature. Krebsy says, I turned my Dark Souls 3 character into Shrek, then invaded people in the swamp. Problem is, some people don't want them to be seen, so they go, nope, you don't have to the place in game or society. Listen, the top scars are pretty intrinsic for people who are trans people. All I'm saying is to ask to be put into a thing to fix towards this person. If that person wants a scar in it and the other person wants that his ear's missing, okay, because war veterans are missing limbs. Okay, well, a lot of people that are veterans are playing video games and they have things that are problems with themselves and they want to be represented as well. Where do you stop? Where do you stop? That's what I'm saying. See, here's the thing what I don't understand about you, Vandal. Every day you come in and for some way, shape, or form, you like to insert this stuff in for the other stuff that's going on in the world when you say you don't like that stuff, but yet you're the one that keeps bringing stuff up in this game, like in this world. I'm very confused by this. Okay, you are trying to get me to say certain things or do certain things, and what I'm talking about is the customization in a video game. Okay, oh no, Travis, it's not your fault. What I'm saying is the customization for characters in a video game. Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? Right? If you let this person feel represented, then you got to let the other person feel represented. And then you got to let this other person represented. So where do you draw the line? Or they could just make a video game. And you make the character that you feel based on the stuff that they put in the game, so you can make the character that you want, and then just play the game. It doesn't matter what they do, Eclipse. If they put it in, it won't be good enough. You understand? If the scar indicator was this, it would be a big, it's not detailed enough, or they can't put it in a certain spot. Do you understand? It will never be good enough. Altern says, making a mage with no arms, super OP, being able to cast spells with his mind. True. It's okay if they do it, if they're trying to make it a selling point instead of making it about the actual game. If you go down that rabbit hole, Roic, if you go down that rabbit hole, okay, where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? If it's not a big deal, then why even put it in the game? Do you see what I'm saying? If you put this thing in the game, you'd be like, well, you put it for them. How come you didn't change it for me? I mean, I never really care personally that my character looks like me in any way, shape, or form. Sometimes I make it look like me. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm a woman. Sometimes I'm a man. Sometimes I'm Jack Burton. Most of the time I'm Jack Burton. Right? Don't care. Personally, I don't have to feel represented. I don't care if my character's black, white, Hispanic, Chinese, Japanese. I don't care. I look at what looks cool. I don't think I look cool. I guess you do it by group inclusion, not individual. All I'm saying is, if you're a person that's making a video game, you make one person one way, you got to add the other people. If you're gonna make one group feel special, that they can put their stuff in the game, then you got to make the other group feel special. Then the other group feels special, and the other group feels special. I'm Jack Burton until I play First Descendant. No, I'm still Jack Burton. I'm just Bunny. I always find that interesting, though, Jones. The people that hate it the most bring it up the most. Right? The people that hate it the most bring it up the most. Jack Bunnington. That's right. Akuda Papa says, when everyone is special, no one is again. And people will complain again. Oh, there will always be people that complain that feel a representation or whatnot. Kurt says, I just want a fun game. I can play as an alien. Exactly right. Exactly right. I didn't say you started the conversation, but you love bringing it up. But you love bringing stuff up. Travis the same way. Hates talking about the stuff, but always loves bringing it up. Just bring it up because it's funny to me that people are so threatened by something that's not them, but you can just ignore it. It's not about ignoring it. It's not about ignoring it. If you want to have a scar, that's fine, right? What I'm saying is, where do you draw the line? If you make it for this, you got to make it for that. If you make it for that, you got to make it for this. If the character customization is not customizable enough, then that's a problem. Right? That's the issue. And you think I'm taking it overboard when I say, well, the person's got one ear or one eye. Right? So it's like, that's the thing. How customizable, okay, does something need to be so everyone feels represented? Eclipse says, like a person that has a cliff lip, maybe they're also proud of that and they wanted the game to know would make that possible. Make it a way that you could put the scar anywhere. Again, right? Most people with customization are not looking for the specific details of it. Very few customization things do that. I wouldn't think that it would be, well, it's just assume that this is what they should do. Robert Jones says the line is where the market decides. So if the market decides that they don't want it, then does that make it correct, Jones? So if the market decides they don't want it, is the market racist, sexist, misogynistic? If the market decides. As he says, I know it's great to see yourself as a character in a game, but it also should not be defining to the point where then it's the Irish white people play a game because they're not represented. And that's my point, Z. Like, where do you draw the line? If you make this, then you got to make this. Right? My whole point is, how detailed do they have to make it so everyone feels included? Like, you're just playing a video game. At the end of the day, you're just playing a video game. Now, I don't want to take it away from anything. Maybe you're in a tough spot in life and you just want to play a video game, and that video game has some sort of impact on your life down the road. Okay? So maybe you're 5, 6 years old, you don't have a lot of friends, you're playing a video game, that game makes you feel like that's your world. Then you grow up 20 years later and that game means a lot to you and whatnot. Sure. Okay? That's each individual's person's prerogative. If they like a game or a character in a movie or a movie itself, okay? But to say that we have to put it in because it needs to be there, absurd. Absurd. Jason says, I don't think it's people are threatened. It's just stupid to have this stuff in a fantasy setting. It's as stupid as having a wheelchair-bound character in D&D. Actually, there was a character that was handicapped in D&D in the cartoon. Wasn't there a person in a wheelchair? Did you guys see the mod where they had Batman in a wheelchair? And he was like fighting by flying up and hitting in the wheelchair? You're equating a trans person's top scars to someone that may have a scratched knee. That I said that you're taking it too far. Top scars are intrinsic to who trans people are. Look, I'm not taking it too far. What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter. The person that, I don't care if it's trans or not trans. If a person wants to feel represented in a video game of customization, and you could put the top scar for a trans person, but you can't take the ear away for someone that wants to see themselves in a video game, it's the exact same thing. The video game doesn't care if you're trans or you're not trans. It doesn't care if you're black or white or Spanish, Chinese, Japanese. Doesn't matter if you're a dwarf or not. That video game is a video game with customizations, and if people want to feel represented in the game, it's the exact same thing. Where do you draw the line of putting stuff in the game that makes it someone feel included and someone that's not included? Get the shit out of here. It's not about trans people. It's about the video game putting enough customization in there for people to feel represented in the actual game itself. Right? The people want to make it about them. That's the thing. It's always about them. It's a video game. It's a video game. People want to play a video game. Right? If a trans person wants to play a video game and it's a single-player game, it's not going to affect me in any way, shape, or form. I'm not taking it from that aspect. What I'm saying is the actual video game company making a customization thing, where do they draw the line of putting stuff in there, okay, to make everyone feel represented? Come on, Chris. Dolphin says Christopher Reeves would be proud. Did you guys see that? Hold on. Let me show you if you guys missed it. Batman's in a wheelchair. Okay. Wait till he starts fighting. I must be an evil person because I'm laughing at Batman in a wheelchair. See, now people would look at this and say, how dare you laugh at someone in a wheelchair? No, I'm not laughing at someone in a wheelchair. I'm laughing at Batman in a wheelchair fighting. Excellent. Of course you can laugh. Because Batman is not a person in a wheelchair. Now I want to see all superheroes in wheelchairs. Superman flying around. That'd be interesting. Wonder Woman. I love how the chair wobbles back and forth like he's walking. It's not even rolling. He's walking. Oh, please tell me he's going to go up there. That's excellent. That's excellent. He's swinging from the top now and just sit. Fantastic. What about if a person wanted to play Batman and they didn't want to be on a wheelchair and they just wanted to have one crutch? Okay. What about if a person has one arm and they wanted to be Batman, right? And Batman has two arms, right? I know it sounds ridiculous, right? But, you know, where do you go with it? Where do you go with it? Maybe sometimes the actual game company that's making a video game doesn't have to put all these things in a video game to make you feel represented. Sometimes just a sci-fi game. Sometimes just a fantasy game. Okay. They put a dwarf, a warlock, a troll, okay, whatever in the game. But because you don't feel represented because of who you are in real life, there's a problem. And I think that's stupid. Okay. Black, white, Hispanic, doesn't matter. If they decide to make a custom character thing and you can't choose who you are in the game, I'm okay with it because that's just the way it is. You should roll up to a restaurant that's not in a wheelchair accessible and scoff at them. Yeah. Dolphins is back in my day. If I wanted to be a midget in 007 on N64, I had to put a cheat code in. I'm still watching the Batman thing. He's whipping around. It's pretty funny. He's like putting someone in a headlock, but it's got the wheel. That's great. Yeah, but they're upset if they do or don't. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying, though, Vandal? You can't make anyone happy. You can't make everyone happy. If they put too much detail or not enough detail, or they add something or they didn't add something, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, even if it was a multiplayer game, and someone wanted to make the character they were, no one's walking up to you and going, you got that scar on your forehead. Like, it's a third-person game. I can't zoom into your character, right? No one cares. Just do you, right? But to ask the company to put all this stuff in to feel inclusive is, I think, the unrealistic part. If they can do it, sure. If they can't do it, sure. But nothing's ever, it's either never good enough or they're bending the knee. It's like they're just making a video game. It doesn't affect you or me in any way, shape, or form. Kurt says, I have a big head. I felt represented in NBA Jam. Oh, you had to put the code in to get that. You had to put the code in to get the big head. All right, I believe being very careful here, but often the people complaining aren't happy with themselves. Thus, they want to put themselves into something so they can be cool or whatever else. Hey, look. Everyone has issues. Everybody has issues. Okay? If that's the way they look, if they're self-conscious about something. Okay? I used to be self-conscious because of my teeth. Okay? You can't really see it. But I have 2 teeth. I have like the jewel teeth. Right? They sink back a little bit. Okay? Where do I want to see representation of I want people to make sure that in a video game I want the teeth to be pushed back so I feel represented, right? Now you could say that I'm taking it out of purport, out of going overboard with this. But that's what it is, right? I'm taking something that's an individual trait with myself and I want the company to put it in a video game so I feel better about myself. Okay? You see what I'm saying? How many years later, I don't give a shit about my teeth. Besides making sure they're healthy in my face. Right. I shouldn't have to think about this stuff in a video game, Kurt. Exactly right. I just want to play a video game. Did I get that tooth fixed? Yeah, I got it ripped out last November. Yeah. I had a tooth back here that just... You always know it's a good sign when they're ripping out a tooth. I shit you not. Doctor had his foot up on the chair. Pair of pliers. I was like, oh, okay. That's the actual sound of the tooth, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. Yeah, it'll be a year in November. They got pulled. Did you have Steve Martin as your dentist? I shit you not. Guy came in. How you doing? Good. Blah. All right, let's get to this. Just yank that shit out. It wouldn't come out easy. I actually joked with them as he was trying to get it out. He stopped for a second, and I looked at him. It was like, are you sure it needs to come out? Because the tooth didn't want to come out. Tooth didn't want to come out. And they don't give a shit. Yeah, once that, pack that up in there. Put a cotton ball in there. We'll see you. Thanks for coming in. Go pay. Appreciate it. Oh, it was bad. It was completely decayed on the inside. It had to get pulled. Was it hurting? Yeah, it was. I don't know if you could tell. It was about a month and a half. It was throbbing. Probably go back and look at the videos. I have a high threshold for pain, but it was uncomfortable when I ate and stuff like that. So I had to get it removed. Oh, for sure. No. This tooth was bad. Oh, when I was a kid, I don't have a tooth over here, like over here. Never had one. Never had an adult tooth. So I lost my baby tooth when I was 21 years old. It was my last tooth that fell out. Just didn't want to fall out. And when I went to the dentist, they wanted to take the one out in front and the back, right? Two perfectly good teeth. They wanted to like shave down or whatever so they could put make a bridge or whatever. And I went, no. They said, well, your face is going to shift. And then, nope, I still have a gap there. Never closed in. Yeah, they just want to remove two perfectly good teeth. So for sure, dentists want to do that. All right, tonight we're going to play some video games. I don't know if I'm going to continue the campaign in Call of Duty or if we're going to play some more sim games just for fun. So, Roadkill says they love doing that. Yeah, they sure do. I still have a Kuda pop up on the screen. Yeah, they sure do. So that'll do it for me. I appreciate you guys coming out today, hanging out with us. If you like what I do here, we just bullshit for basically 2.5 hours a day. Get you through a couple of hours of your day. If you're at day, night, evening, wherever you are, appreciate it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you'd like to go above and beyond that. Become a member as little as $5. We do have uploads on our 30 and Still Gaming channel that I'm doing every day at 1 o'clock today. I think the next one goes live for the part 3 or day 3 in TGC Card Shop, the bougie shop that we've created. So go check that out on 30 and Still Gaming. We'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. for some gaming. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.